Being here with us today on the last Sunday service of the year and my first as a host, so be gracious. And we begin this service with the ringing of the bell and the lighting of the Christ candle. And we light this candle and ring this bell to remind us of the light within each and every one of us. And we'll continue our service with the opening statement. You'll find this in your bulletin. And if you would, please repeat after me. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. And if you would, please take a moment to let that truth soak in. And then let's repeat that once again. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. And we'll begin our service this morning with music by Ron and Jeff. Thank you so much. Welcome, guys.
Good morning. Happy almost New Year. Would you please stand? We'll sing Surely the Presence right inside your front cover. Number 72.
Place in my hands the wonderful key.
Thank you, Ron and Jeff, for that rousing opening, and thanks for the fans in the back for that appreciation. We'll continue our service today with a few announcements. After church today and every Sunday, you can join the Zoomers for a lively after-party discussion where they talk about some thoughts that may have come up during the speaker's session this morning. You can join by phone, iPad, or on your computer. That's on the church Zoom line, and the password is a very secure 1111. The book study group, which usually meets on Thursdays at 8 o'clock, has paused until after the new year, so please stay tuned for what the next book will be and when that book study group will reconvene. As I mentioned, this is our last service for 2024, but you don't want to miss our first service for 2025 next Sunday. It will be the very powerful and meaningful Burning Bowl service, where we release the things that no longer work for us and take some time to set our intentions for what we would like to see in our lives for the coming year. It's one of my favorite services of the year, and I can't wait to see you all here. Barbie, are there still spots left in the Unravel group? 2 spots left. This is a last chance fire sale. So Barbie's 4th annual Unravel Your Year journaling workshop will take place for the 4 Tuesdays in January, starting the 7th from 5:15 to 7:15 on those Tuesday evenings. This is a time of contemplation and closure. They're going to spend a couple of weeks journaling and having group discussion on kind of unraveling what happened in 2024, and then spending the last 2 weeks of that month thinking and journaling and discussing about what 2025 may bring. 2 spots left. If you're interested, please see Barbie, and her email address is in the bulletin as well. There are many other announcements of ongoing promotions and activities in your bulletin. Please take a look at those, and feel free to take this sheet with you if you'd like, to remind you of all of the great things happening around Unity of Kanawha Valley. With that, I'd like to welcome any first-time attendees, any newcomers we have in the audience who haven't been with us before. If
My son and his lovely wife are here from Montana, along with their grandchildren, Brendan and Mel, Cam, and little baby Ireland.
welcome. Barbie and Danny's son, wife, and 2 grandbabies from Montana. Welcome. If there are no other newcomers, then I'll welcome up one of our board members, Barbie Dahlman, who will give this week's welcome.
And once again, good morning and welcome to Unity of Kanawha Valley. My name is Barbie Dahlman. I am the treasurer, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to welcome you. I want to say we are so grateful that you're here with us today. In this room and on Zoom, and a special welcome to all the people who will tune in later to hear this really important message. Just welcome. And because my son is here, I'm going to give him a special welcome, and his wife and my 2 grandbabies, because I don't get this chance very often. And I wanted to say they have been here before, and you might have been here on February 14th in 2016 when they stood up here and made a commitment to each other. And we had a really moving love ceremony that day. And since then, they got married, and they moved to Montana, and they bought a house, and they had 2 kids. Look at how powerful it is to make a commitment at Unity. Just keep that in mind. So our goal here is to provide a positive path for spiritual living. And we come together here each week to help create and nurture a welcoming community of love, acceptance, and spiritual growth. And just, scream out if the Spirit moves. Through prayer, teaching, and service, we affirm our connection to our source, and we strive to consistently make choices that show love to others as well as to ourselves. It's our hope that you are here, that while you're here, you'll find a safe place to explore your beliefs, to try our beliefs on to see if they work for you. And as today's lesson unfolds, listen, see what works for you. Take what works for you. And if you don't like something, just leave it here. Don't have to make a big deal out of it. Today, Megan LYON will be talking about when one door closes. We're experiencing that right now here at Unity. Sky and Pam have both retired. The door is closed on them. The new door is not yet open. We're walking a hallway of not knowing. We don't know what's next. But we have trust, we have love, we're working together, we're visioning what we want next. And I'm so grateful that you're giving us this message, because it's been on my mind for many months now. Now, affirmative prayer is a central part of what we're about here. So let's practice that now. So if you feel comfortable doing so, close your eyes, or you can soften your gaze. Just take a nice deep breath. Relax your body and place your hand on your heart. And repeat after me. This is my heart. Through it, I am connected to my neighbor, to my source, and to myself. I am willing to trust it in all things. And I am grateful. And now if you can stand, look around, just reach out to someone next to you, give a greeting, especially if someone is sitting alone, make sure to say hello, and just circulate for a few minutes here and give a special hi to everyone and a greeting to everyone.
check.
Okay, everybody. I know this is the fun part, but let's have a seat. I've got a really special, exciting announcement, but I can't make it till everybody's sitting down. You won't want to miss it, so please take a seat. Oh, wait, I got to say goodbye to my family. They're heading out.
We're not going to make it through a whole service with these characters.
Drive carefully.
Yeah, well, it's...
Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Okay. So the special announcement is the Christmas decorations have to come down before next Sunday. So mark 10 a.m. Saturday morning on your calendar. Show up. Many hands make for light work. So come on out. We'll have some fun. Put everything away till next year. So once again, I want to thank everybody. And before he leaves, I want to say a special thank you to today's junior bell ringer, Campbell Callahan Walker. And thank you to my fellow board members, Laura, Mary Beth, Sally, Amy, David, and Phil, for their time and dedication to help guide our church. It's a particularly challenging year, requiring lots of extra time and attention. So when you see a board member, give them an extra thank you for all that they're doing. And I want to say thank you, too, for the many volunteers right now who are keeping things running in the absence of an administrative director. And a special thank you to Laura. We've been, tag teaming the office. And thank you, Steve and Keith, for hosting. You're doing an outstanding job. I never had any doubts. Thank you to our AV club members, Danny, Amy, Chris, Ron, Rich, and Ernie, for leading the journey into the Zoomiverse. And to Ron and Jeff for providing the music. And a special thanks to Deb Meredith for doing today's Daily Word. And, oh, you're not doing it? Oh, Julie. Oops. Well, okay. A special thank you to Julie Pratt for doing today's Daily Word. Janet, are you the prayer chaplain? Oh, good. I got that part right. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over to you now for the prayer meditation.
So just take a few deep breaths. And as you settle into your heart space, think of a new year and a fresh breath. We devote full attention on the divine within, the source of all vitality and inspiration we could ever need. In the beginning, the divine within. We breathe in the expanding, glorious awareness of our divinity. Peace flows like a river throughout my being. I am one with God, claiming spiritual authority over stormy thoughts and emotions. Nothing can throw me off balance. Nothing can shake me. for peace replaces all my concerns. I am now centered, calm, quiet-minded, and peaceful in the certainty of divine peace. I am the harmonious action of divine love. In the beginning, the divine within, the harmonious power of love. Attuned to the harmony of love in my body and mind, I agree with divine love's healing and restoring power in every aspect of my life. I claim spiritual authority to be love in action, harmonizing any discords and restoring relationships. Every part of my body, mind, and spirit celebrates divine life. I honor divine life, nourishment for my body. I honor divine ideas flourishing in my mind. I honor the fullness of life in my dreams and intentions. I command every thought to celebrate divine life, and I thrive. In gratitude, I see abundant blessings and possibilities. In the beginning, gratitude. I live in an ever-present awareness of blessings. I see possibility within each circumstance. I see blessings within each possibility. In any moment of need, I gratefully receive abundant divine ideas with which to prosper. My every prayerful thought blesses the world with peace. My every breath is a prayer for peaceful solutions to our shared human concerns. In spiritual authority, I direct my thoughts to bless the human family with peaceful hearts that behold the divine within one another. May peace prevail within and all around us. Returning our awareness to our physical bodies and the physical space we occupy, we retain the spacious, glorious awareness of the divine within. Breathing together in gratitude and faithful expectation, we begin a new year with heart and mind refreshed. And so it is. Amen.
The daily word for December 29th. In prayer, I know the truth about others. I feel honored when someone asks for my support in prayer. My heart and mind join with theirs as I hold thoughts that affirm the truth of them, their divinity. I pray they know they are created in the image of God, that the qualities of life, love, and wisdom are part of their spiritual inheritance. As I pray, I see their divine qualities expressing. I envision divine life flowing through them and divine love comforting them and harmonizing their relationships. I see them whole and well, loved and loving, prosperous and secure. As I pray, I focus on the spiritual truth and trust that the divine presence is the answer to every prayer. What should I do then? I will pray with the Spirit, but I will pray with the mind also. I will sing praise with the Spirit, but I will sing praise with the mind also. 1 Corinthians 14:15.
Every life has a plan, though sometimes the map is out of our hands. Every day is a step, though we may not know the reason just yet. When your faith fails and your dreams sleep, learn to let go and let it be. Let there be love, let there be light, let there be hope in the dark of the night. For every heart that's lying in wait, let there be love. You were strong, you were brave, and I couldn't even count all the ways. There's a time to be still and let the river carry you where it will. When your faith fails and your dreams sleep, learn to let go and let it be. Let there be love, let there be light, let there be hope in the dark of the night. For every heart that's lying in wait, let there be love. It's a long, hard road to travel. Yes, I know what it's like when you lose your way, when the best laid plans unravel. That's when you've got to believe. Let there be love, let there be light, let there be hope in the dark of the night. For every heart that's lying in wait, let there be love. Let there be love, let there be light, let there be hope in the dark of the night. For every heart that's lying in wait, that's lying in wait. Let there be love. Let there be love. Let there be light. Let there be hope in the dark of the night. For every heart that's lying in wait. Let there be love. Let there be love.
Thank you, Ron, Jeff, Nancy, and Chris. Before I introduce today's speaker, I want to remind you, I'd mentioned that next Sunday is the Burning Bowl ceremony, which you don't want to miss because it's an opportunity for us to let go of all of the things that no longer serve us. One of the things we neglected to mention that we will be letting go of next week is the mortgage, what we will also be burning. Thanks to your support for helping us pay that off this year. We so appreciate it. So introducing today's speaker, I could take the easy way out and say she needs no introduction and just sit back down, which would be true. Megan LYON is a friend of Unity, is well known in Unity circles and community circles as a spiritual guider, a life coach, an all-around cool cat. One of the things you may not know about her, though, is that she played a key role in the vision our church has held for the past couple of years. So when I joined the board several years ago, she came to me and said, I really want to do something. I want to help the church. I want to help the leadership of the church, but serving on the board is just not my thing. Girl, I get it. But she wanted to do something, so we had a retreat planned, and she offered to come to that board retreat and do a visioning exercise with us, where basically we talked about, we looked at our mission and our values, and we're trying to decide, do we feel good about this? Are these the things that are going to guide us for the next several years? She led us through an exercise that ended up with hundreds of Post-it notes all over the wall, and from that, she synthesized that down to the vision and mission and value statements that you still see in the bulletin today. So thank you so much for helping us through that process. And welcome Megan today. She's going to talk about when one door closes.
Good morning. I'm just so thankful that you all braved this weather. Was it pouring the rain when you all walked out the door this morning? Wow. So thank you all so much for being here today and for allowing me to continue to share my thoughts and reflections. And thank you so much for the musicians and that beautiful song. I really feel like between what Barbie said and what they sang, I really don't need to say anything else because they pretty much covered everything I'm going to cover today. But I am grateful to be here anyway, and I will make you all sit through this for the next 20 minutes, even though it's already been said. It's just really exciting to have the opportunity to speak with you all on this very last service of 2024. Especially just knowing that 2024 has been such a year of transitions for Unity of Kanawha Valley and for many of us personally. And so I'm glad to be able to be here and have a chance to look back on the past with you and to also prepare for this new year ahead. So I just want to let you know this talk is going to be part talk and part meditation. So we're going to take some time throughout the talk to stop and do some reflections. And so you might even want to grab one of the index cards that are in your pews and a pen. You might want to just jot some things down as you make some reflections if that's helpful to you. Certainly that's not a requirement, but it might be helpful to just write some things down that come up for you. So the New Year is my favorite holiday. I love this idea of new beginnings and looking forward to the new year with hopeful anticipation. And so next year, as we begin 2024, of course, we've already heard that we're going to have my favorite ritual here at Unity of Kanawha Valley, which is our Burning Bowl ceremony. And so this is such a great opportunity for us to come together and release what's ready to be let go of and set intentions for our year ahead. So today, my topic, I'm hoping, will give us a little segue into that service and as we begin this new year. So my topic is when one door closes, and who knows the rest part of that sentence? Another door opens, right. But as we know, it is rarely that simple. There is often a mysterious threshold that needs to be crossed first. So when I reflected on that old adage of when one door closes, another one opens, what I realized is there are actually 3 stages in that process. First, there is taking time to honor, celebrate, and grieve the door that's closing. And then there is navigating that liminal space between what is and what will be. And then there is a willingness to step into that next door when the time is right. So I want to start today to talk a little bit about this idea of one door closing. So we know that 2024 is coming to a close, and if we take time to reflect, we will see that much has happened in our church and in our lives in this past year. Perhaps we've experienced or witnessed births, deaths, marriages, divorces, trips to beautiful places, connections with friends and family, both work that's both meaningful and sometimes not meaningful, reading really good books, eating really good food, and a million other sacred and mundane moments, and everything in between. And so I want to start by allowing us to just take a moment to reflect on those moments of our last year. So perhaps you might close your eyes or soften your gaze if that's helpful. You might take a deep breath if that feels right to you. And just allow these meaningful parts of the year to surface, to rise to the surface in your mind. What was beautiful about this past year for you? What was difficult? Who were the people and pets beside of you on the journey? What are you most grateful for? Perhaps taking a moment to honor all the beauty, all the goodness, all the growth, and yes, even all the pain of this year before we move on to the next year. Perhaps putting your hand on your heart and saying, "Thank you, 2024, for your great blessings." Amen. For me, it is very important to honor the door that's being closed, to celebrate the goodness that it brought to our lives, to acknowledge the challenges, and to grieve the losses if necessary. I know you all have heard me say this before, but for years I have been perplexed by our culture's ideas of loss and change. Many of us were taught that when we experience loss, we are simply meant to pick ourselves back up and move on as quickly as possible. And this often leaves people feeling shame or inadequacy for not being able to move through their grief quickly enough. But grief, as we know, is actually a natural response to loss. So in my personal experience and my experience working with many, many people in the midst of grief, I've learned that when it comes to grief, it takes as long as it takes. We can't rush it, we can't push it away. We can only learn to be with it in the healthiest way possible for us. So my suggestion for dealing with a door that is closing is to grieve if you need to grieve, let go of imaginary timelines, find healthy ways to take care of yourself in the process, and take time to honor and celebrate the beauty and growth and goodness that that door brought to your life. So, as it's been mentioned, here at UKV, we've had some important doors closing in 2024, as we have experienced 3 big changes in leadership. The retirement of both our beloved minister, Sky, our devoted church administrator, Pam, along with our vibrant president, Stephen, coming off the board. We were so fortunate to have these 3 beautiful souls in leadership positions at this church over these last years. All 3 of them, I think most of you would agree with me, all 3 of them held their positions with such love, such care, and such dedication. So let's just take a moment of quiet gratitude for the gifts that all of these 3 people brought to this church, and for all those who've been in leadership positions or who have served in this church in any way over the many years. So perhaps closing your eyes or softening your gaze for just a moment and offering gratitude for all those who have served this church well. Thank you to each of you for your great blessings. Amen. So we are so fortunate to have the very capable Mary Beth Beller stepping on as board president and are in the process of filling those other 2 positions. So here we are in that mysterious space between what is and what will be. How do we navigate that liminal space, that in-between place? Well, at first, I was a little concerned about all these changes in leadership all at the same time. And then I remembered, wait a minute, I attend Unity, right? So I pulled out my Unity principles. A client of mine recently told me that she had always prided herself in being able to stay calm in the most difficult situations. But she had an aha moment when she heard someone say, the opposite of anxiety isn't calm. The opposite of anxiety is trust. Yes, trust. Barbie brought that up earlier, right? Trusting that we are on the path, on the road to what is right for us. That's what this liminal space requires and what Unity principles teach us. The way that Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, trusted that her body knew how to heal itself. The way that we can trust that God, or as Julia Cameron calls it, good, orderly direction, is laying down a path for us, is providing comfort and healing and guidance and whatever is needed for the journey. So in a couple of weeks, Pam Holly is going to be speaking here about her late husband, Woody Holly, and their magical journey of him following his calling to be a Unity minister, and then ultimately the 2 of them finding their way here to Unity of Kanawha Valley 3 decades ago. It's 3 decades ago, right? Wow, yes. So for years before they arrived here, they were following breadcrumbs of synchronicity that led them right to this place. It's an incredible story. You're not going to want to miss this story. It's beautiful. So here is what I trust in this moment, that there is already someone in place following sacred breadcrumbs, leading them to this community. And how lucky we will be when they find us, and how lucky they will be to arrive here, to this amazing, loving community. And in the meantime, in this liminal space, there is already so much goodness here. There is so much to be grateful for right here, right now, in this moment, with these amazing people. So let's just take a moment to be with that gratitude. Perhaps closing your eyes or softening your gaze, taking a breath if that's helpful, and reflecting on something or many things that you are grateful for about this community or any area of your life. Something right here, right now. Thank you, UKV, for your great blessings right here in this moment. Amen. Sometimes when a door closes, it can feel like a challenge to find our way to the next one. As we begin this new year at Unity of Kanawha Valley and in our own lives, we can make plans, we can set intentions, but ultimately we are stepping into the mysterious unknown of what is to come. We don't always get to decide what's coming and even know what's coming. So can we trust that we will find our way to the next door even when the path seems uncertain? When I was younger and I still followed the path that the world set out for me, instead of the path that my soul placed in me, finding the next door seemed easier somehow. I could look at the world's expectations, I could consult with my logic, I could make a pros and cons list, and figure out what to do next. Life became more challenging when I started following the path of my soul, but it also became a lot more authentic, a lot more meaningful. I recently came across this poem that speaks of that journey. It's called Old Maps No Longer Work by Joyce Rupp, which, song, perfect. I want to share this poem with you. I keep pulling it out, the old map of my inner path. I squint closely at it, trying to see some hidden road that maybe I've missed. But there's nothing there now except some well-traveled paths. They have seen my footsteps often, held my laughter, caught my tears. I keep going over the old map, but now the roads lead nowhere. A meaningless wilderness where life is dull and futile. Toss away the old map, she says. You must be kidding, I reply. She looks at me with Sarah eyes and repeats, toss it away. It's of no use where you're going. I have to have a map, I cry, even if it takes me nowhere. I can't be without direction. But you are without direction, she says. So why not let go? Be free. So there I am, tossing away the old map, sadly, fearfully putting it behind me. Whatever will I do, wails my security. Trust me, says my midlife soul. No map, no specific directions, no this way ahead or take a left. How will I know where to go? But then my midlife soul whispers, there was a time before maps, when pilgrims traveled by the stars. It is time for the pilgrim in me to travel in the dark, to learn to read the stars that shine in my soul. I will walk deeper into the dark of my night. I will wait for the stars, trust their guidance, and let their light be enough for me. On this Sunday after Christmas, that poem brings to mind for me the three wise men using a star in the sky to search for the Christ child. Following the stars was not that unusual in that day. Before traditional maps, before GPS, many travelers looked to the North Star for navigational purposes. It was the constant. It was the light in the sky that always helped them locate themselves in the big scheme of the world and find their path. Even in the midst of a continually changing life, a constantly changing world, we each have a North Star, an inner compass we can return to that we can use to find our way even when we are unsure of the exact destination. I believe Unity of Kanawha Valley has a collective North Star, that thing we can keep tapping back into over and over again. I reflected on what my North Star is, what doesn't change for me. And what I discovered through those reflections is that my North Star is knowing that I am held, loved, and supported by a benevolent universe. That I am here to love and be loved. That I am called to promote healing, justice, peace, and love in the world. And that my most essential primary job while I'm here on this earth is to heal my own heart and to live from my most true self. Nothing can change that. No matter what's happening in my life or in the world, no situation I'm in, no mistake that I make, no loss that I experience can change that North Star. I might get off my path for a while, but I can always look up, look within, find my North Star, and follow its path. So in reality, I can never be lost. We each have our own North Star, our internal guidance system, our deepest, truest self that we can turn towards to show us the way. And so let's take a moment to just connect with that North Star within us. You might close your eyes or soften your gaze if that's helpful. Maybe take a deep breath. Reflect on what is your North Star. What can you depend on? What is always true for you? What matters most to you, no matter what is happening in your life or in the world? Thank you to that North Star within me, within each of us, for always guiding the way. Amen. I asked a friend who lost her husband a couple of years ago how the holidays were for her this year. And she said, the holidays were different, but they were nice. She said, I was actually surprised that there were some good things about the holidays. I wasn't expecting that. She said, I guess I'm figuring out that different doesn't always mean worse. It doesn't have to be good or bad, just different. She still misses her husband, and I am quite certain she will the rest of her life. But she is learning to experience a different kind of beautiful in the midst of her grief. She's grateful for the many years she had with her husband, and she knows her life will never be the same. And she is trusting that this new doorway, that this new life has goodness to offer her too. As we step into this new year, we can plan and dream and set intentions for what is to come. But can we also make room in our hearts for the mysterious unknown? Can we follow our North Star and trust wherever it takes us? Sure, of course, there will be challenges along the way. But can we trust that there are beautiful things awaiting us in this new year? They may be a different kind of beautiful than what we've had in the past, but beautiful nonetheless. So let's do one more meditation together, taking a moment to envision the goodness that is to come in this new year. Maybe closing your eyes or softening your gaze. Perhaps feeling your heart open as you invite in this new year. What dreams do you have for this new year? What do you want to focus on? What intentions do you want to set? What do you want to experience in this coming year? Can you make room in your heart for the mysterious unknown? Can you trust that you can navigate whatever this life brings? Thank you, 2025, for the beauty awaiting for me in this coming year. Amen. With all the changes and challenges of this new year, we can trust that there is goodness behind us, there is goodness right here, right now, and there is goodness on the way. May you each experience deep peace, joyful moments, and abiding love in this coming year. May you always follow your North Star, being true to yourself regardless of the circumstances, knowing that it will always help you find your way. May you step into this new year with trusting expectations of all that is to come for you, for this church, and for our world. Thank you for listening, and thank you to each of you for being a light on my journey.
Thank you so much for that wonderful message, Megan. People often ask, what is it that draws me to come to Unity of Kanawha Valley? And there are a million things I could say, but it always boils down to when I walk out these doors after a service like this, I always feel better than when I walked in the doors. And that's how I feel after your message. So thank you so much. As you know, UKV is a tithing church. 10% of everything we bring in, we send back out to help those in our community. This year's tithe recipient is Bream Memorial's Neighborhood Shop, which provides showers, healthcare, and outreach to those in need. And with that, I would invite our ushers to come forward, please. And our prayer chaplain, Janet Prince, who will be available to you after the service today if you need a short and powerful unity prayer.
Thank you. So you'll find the offering blessing on the inside of your bulletin. And if you would, repeat that with me together. Divine love, moving in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, I trust God, and I am grateful.
Do it in the key that we practiced it in. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be all right. Oh, don't worry about a thing. Just every little thing gonna be all right. Rise up this morning, smiled at the rising sun. 3 little birds were perched on my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this This is my message to you. Don't worry. Come on, help me out. Yes, every little thing gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing. Oh, every little thing gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, welcome the rising sun. 3 little birds now perched on my doorstep, singing sweet songs with melodies true, singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry now about a thing, no. Oh, every little thing gonna be alright, you know it will. Don't worry, no, don't worry about a thing. Oh yeah, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. We know it's gonna be alright 'cause Jeff is gonna play it for us right now. Don't let's hear it for Jeff on the piano, 'cause, okay, you know, I know what you're all wanting for. I know you're waiting for this. I know I am. Tambourine solo. Come on, Chris. About a thing. Oh, now every little thing gonna be alright. Alright. Yes, Jeannie. Don't worry about a thing. Oh, now every little thing gonna be alright. Let's all stand up. Come on, we good. Don't worry. Don't worry about a thing. Come on now. Oh, every little thing gonna be alright. 2025 gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing. Oh, now every little thing gonna be alright. You sing it to us now.
let's allow our heart spaces to open and fill with gratitude for messages and for music that fill our hearts with light and love. We are so grateful for this community. We are grateful to those who support this community with their time and their talents and their treasure. And we give thanks that Unity of Kanawha Valley is a North Star and will remain so for generations to come. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
So as we make a circle for our peace song, I will turn it back over to Stephen.
Thank you, Janet. It never occurred to me, but that song, Every Little Thing's Gonna Be All Right, is kind of like the Unity equivalent of All Is Well. So that's kind of like our unofficial theme song. I know we have a couple of birthdays to celebrate. Over the past couple of days, Kate Butcher and John Baldwin both had birthdays. Laura's son, James. My oldest son, Adam, turns 22 tomorrow. And our junior bell ringer today, Cam, is 5 on Wednesday, New Year's Day. Any others?
Surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us. The power of God